So that's a big learning. Okay, now let's talk about Blazor in general, regardless of its server side, regardless of its WebAssembly. The UI is stateful. Don't plan on browser refreshes. Yes, the code kind of fakes changes in the address bar of the browser. Don't plan on browser refreshes. If you refresh the browser, you're actually going to reload the application. What you want to think, your mindset is to bring back patterns from desktop applications. Okay, so if anyone on your team has done any WinForms, done any WPF, or has done a significant Android application or iOS application, there's patterns there because it's a native, rich, stateful application where you click on one part of the screen and maybe some other part of the screen needs to do something. And so there's two things that I want to talk about here. One is screen decomposition, and the other is eventing. Okay. But I'm going to come back to screen decomposition, but just know you want to factor every logical area of your screen into a different Blazor component. Don't have a Blazor component that has multiple areas of the screen that all do something different. If you can describe what a particular area of the screen is responsible for, factor it into a separate Blazor component. Your life is going to be easier that way, and I'll show you a way to easily compose them. But let's talk about eventing. All right, here's an example. We have and this is from the car application. We need to refresh some details just in case anything has changed and maybe we missed a message because SignalR is non-guaranteed delivery. Azure Service Bus is guaranteed delivery. SignalR is real time, but it's not guaranteed delivery. Most of the messages are going to get through, but it's not guaranteed. And if you have a network interruption, it's just going to drop. All right, so we have a refresh that goes every once in a while on a configurable time frame. Notice at the top, this Blazor component, regardless of what it is, it has refresh timer as a component in there. All right, so now let's jump into refresh timer. This is a Blazor component that literally has no HTML markup, none, no HTML markup. It doesn't have anything visible. It only has behavior. It has one responsibility. Get a setting from the app settings.json file, and on a particular timer cadence, send an event to our event bus. The event is refresh timer triggered, and it's past tense because yes, it happened. The timer got triggered. Refresh timer triggered. Okay, send it down. That's all it does. Okay, so now let's look at code that can do something because of it. All right, this is part of another Blazor component, and it implements some interfaces. Look at the top. iListener of type, and there's actually multiple event types. iListener of type refresh timer triggered, the third one down. And notice the handle method for refresh timer triggered. And what does it do? Refresh entries of the auction. Okay, so this is how within a particular user interface, one part of the screen can have a component. And instead of trying to have multicast delegate events like .NET events that are subscribed to a parent component's event, which then the parent tries to jump over to the master page and then tell something in a child component down here to change something. Instead, every component that's alive in memory on a particular screen is connected to the same eventing bus. So this is a different hub and spoke pattern than the bus that goes down into an application and towards a database. This is within the user interface, an eventing bus. And so any component anywhere on the screen can throw an event down this bus. Every other component gets an opportunity to say they're interested in it by implementing the interface iListener of type of that event. And then the bus knows that they are interested in that particular event and will just pass it on to their handle method. And then that component can do anything. So a component on one side of the screen can send an event, and there could be 10 components in a list on the right-hand side of the screen that all independently get to choose what they want to do when that event happens. Really powerful